Okay, speaking of Miami, they're next on our list. They also have an over-under of 9.5. I think they'll be pretty good. I don't trust them quite as much as North Carolina. We both picked North Carolina to win that game. So I'm assuming you're probably on the under with them as well.
I am. Yes, I am fairly confident on this. I would be putting I'd probably a level of certainty. We have him at 9.5, which I feel is very high considering it's almost certain to be 0-1 out of the gate with the opening game against Alabama at a neutral site. So yeah, don't feel great about that. They have some trip up games. I think their game obviously against North Carolina. We both think they'll lose that. The NC State game right after the North Carolina game, the game after that follows it up. Very big trip game. I've said that I'm high on NC State. That's the one I will be taking the over on. I'm high on Pittsburgh, kind of like Pat Narduzzi. I think that they follow it up. North Carolina, NC State, then Pitt. Tough stretch right there for them. I think they'll at least lose two of those three.
Yeah, you mentioned something that, or you, yeah, inferred something about the ACC that I think is really interesting. It's a tough conference to call. There's a lot of teams in the middle that feel like they can reach up and grab you if you're not ready for it. If you're Clemson, you're probably not going to be too worried about it because you're just better than all of them by a large margin. For a team like Miami, man, yeah, like I think they're better than NC State and Boston College and Pitt. You mentioned. I think they're better than all those teams. But can any of those teams beat them? Absolutely. So for me, I'm definitely on the under on this one. I feel a lot better, I think, about this one than my previous two picks. The ceiling is high. I like De'Aaron King, and Miami has been recruiting pretty well. Manny Diaz really feels like he's trying to get the train rolling. And I don't know, like I don't think he's an elite coach by any stretch. I don't expect them to return to the days of the U. But they it does feel like he has raised the floor for them. They are a bit more respectable, but I also do think there's a higher variance for them than North Carolina. So I'm definitely on the under here.
Yeah, and I'd be with you. Fairly high level certainly would put that one. Would be willing to put money on the under there. 9.5 feels wildly high for Miami. It's Manny Diaz. We're not sure it's untested. And to the point that we've been talking about, and it's kind of going to be the prevailing theme here really throughout the ACC is you have Clemson, North Carolina, and then Miami, and then there's a big muddle of teams below them, and it's just and no one really knows who's going to pull out of that. I mean, everyone they're all kind of right there, and they're not in the top 25. They're in the 35 to 50 range, and that's like most of the ACC is in the 35 to 50 range. So it's very hard to forecast, and at the same time, it's also dangerous for those some of those top teams. It feels there's a lot of quality there. There's a big middle class in the ACC.